This is big, as Payton Pritchard is shocking everyone around the NBA as an emerging Sixth Man of the Year candidate, as he has the highest odds to win the award at this very moment. So we're going to be diving in, looking at the emergence of Payton Pritchard in this Celtics lineup with this team so far this season, and how far and how great can Payton Pritchard get with this Celtics team in the future. We're going to be diving and looking at all of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz, and you guys have been absolutely fantastic showing your love and support. I want to let you guys know that unfortunately I will not be live tonight versus the Nets, but I will be live on Knicks Digest with creator Chris Gallagher to break down Celtics, Knicks, and basketball around the NBA. So if you want to come join us, come on by at 6 p.m. over on Knicks Digest. We will be live. But without further ado, let's dive into the video at hand. Make sure to grab a snack. And we're going to be breaking down Payton Pritchard as he is breaking out for this Celtics squad this season. And we really started to see this emergence from Payton Pritchard in that second half stint kind of going into the playoffs where Pritchard showcased a prominent role off the bench, hitting those, really ridiculous half-court shots, but also prioritizing and being a scorer off the bench for the Celtics, which was necessarily needed. When the Celtics went up against the Golden State Warriors in the finals 2 seasons ago, they lacked that bench scoring and that bench depth. So having that be a key X factor was necessary going into this finals run. And Payton Pritchard did that not only from three-point land, but also as a playmaker, setting up other players like Sam Hauser, Derrick White, Jayson Tatum, but also prioritizing while scoring at the rim. And Payton Pritchard has really showcased his skill set so far for the Celtics this year. So let's dive in and let's look at all the jazz that Payton Pritchard has been doing. If we want to look at the most three-pointers made this season in the NBA, Payton Pritchard is currently sitting at 6th, only behind a Celtics teammate in Derrick White by 1, but behind stars like LaMelo Ball, Buddy Hield, Jayson Tatum, and Anthony Edwards. I missed Jayson Tatum. So behind 2 Celtics right there, but ultimately, this is great for Payton Pritchard as he's not only shooting and making most three-pointers, but he's shooting them at a very good percentage as well, 41.3%, which is the second lowest on this list. But all these players shooting around 40% from three-point range is key and big for the success of this Celtics squad, and to just show that even though they're taking these high volume shots, they're still making them. And for Payton Pritchard, that is the same thing. Payton Pritchard is averaging 4 threes made per game, and that has been a huge X factor for the Celtics off the bench and keeping them alive in some of these contests. Now, if we also want to look at this courtesy of Celtics on NBC Sports Boston, like I mentioned, Payton Pritchard is the current betting favorite to win Sixth Man of the Year. And if we want to look at FanDuel here, we can see that that is true. If we want to look at the odds, Payton Pritchard has the best odds at plus 400, with other names of Buddy Hield, Malik Monk, and Naz Reid, the two candidates for it last season, Benedict Mathurin, and Trey Mann, a nice candidate this season. But Payton Pritchard has already cemented himself as that front runner, and I think can keep that hold of that front runner for the entire season. If Payton Pritchard can keep up these stats, can keep up his play style and how he's been performing, I believe that a player in Payton Pritchard can really acclimate to that role. I've already stated and mentioned on this channel before that I think Payton Pritchard is good enough to start in the NBA dating back to last season, and I still think that that case still stands. There's a plethora of teams that maybe could not use, that don't necessarily need a point guard, but could use Payton Pritchard's young guard leadership to kind of take over and maybe even jumpstart their rebuild just a little bit if he was their starter. For the Celtics to have Payton Pritchard on a $7 million contract is an absolute steal for the production that he is putting up, and Celtics fans should be grinning ear to ear that Payton Pritchard is locked up long-term with this team for the future, and that there's no possibility of losing him in the next couple seasons with him having an emerging season with the Celtics having some salary apron reconstructions already having to come their way. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section on Payton Pritchard as we've been breaking out. And we're going to be stating, can he win this award? And can he really blossom and fulfill that statement? I already went into it in a little bit of detail earlier on, but I think that he has a high likely chance of doing so. If we want to look back at the people that he is competing with, like I mentioned, Buddy Hield, Malik Monk, Naz Reid, Benedict Mathurin, and Trey Mann, they're all great. And with Sixth Man of the Year, it's kind of a type of run type of award where a player can have a really strong start to the season like Payton Pritchard, but they're to quiet off mid-season to the late of the season, he's going to fall off that 6th man of the year rankings, where a player, if he's to come in halfway through the season or even 30, 40 games in, but showcase that he can be the top 6 man for that second half of the year, he might even end up winning the award. So Payton Pritchard does have an uphill battle to climb. He has to maintain this level of play, but I believe that he can, and the Celtics do as well. If we want to dive in and look at this quote here, courtesy of Noah Dalzell, we can see that Jrue Holiday said the Celtics ran a practice drill where they guard Payton Pritchard full court, and that he is the hardest player on the team to stop. This was in a little clip with an interview with Jrue Holiday where he full on quote said, "Payton's cold, bro," referring to Payton Pritchard. And Payton Pritchard, to look at his stats for the year this season, like we mentioned, 16 points per game, absolutely outstanding for a 6-man type of year on a $7 million contract. Scoring 16 points is huge. Like I said, averaging around 4 threes per game for this Celtics squad. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal on 45% shooting from the field and 41% shooting from 3, where he's shooting 60% on corner threes, where 80% of his threes are assisted and 82% of his shots are threes. As we all know, Payton Pritchard is a sharpshooter. He's going to prioritize that 3 ball. He is going to let it fly. And if it is going, it is generating. That is key. But sometimes Payton Pritchard's shot isn't going like we've seen throughout the season. He's been able to play make. He's been able to offensive rebound. He's been able to show us those hardworking dog skills that he presents that the Celtics wanted and saw in Payton Pritchard when they drafted him. And that's what is the key here. Payton Pritchard not only is putting up these numbers, but he's improving his role, showcasing that he can be better than a 6-man of the year for an NBA team, and might even earn himself, like I said, a starting spot in the league for the foreseeable future if he still delivers on this 6-man of the year. I think the first kind of stepping stone to get to that point, to that starting point guard, is winning this 6-man of the year award. It will be very cool to see, as the Celtics previously had a 6-man win just a couple seasons ago with Malcolm Brogdon at that guard position. It would be really, really nice to see Payton Pritchard learn some things from Malcolm Brogdon and obviously embrace that role and bring that role for this Celtics team in the future, and possibly even be better at that role for this team in the future. But let's not forget that Payton Pritchard is not only just a scorer, but a playmaker, a guy who works well with his +1 squad and Sam Hauser and Luke Cornett, and really likes to set up this offense. And we have yet to see Payton Pritchard get any starting time with Jaylen Brown being out, as Namus Keita has been given that prioritized time, or Luke Cornett has been given that prioritized time to help out in that big man department. But if a player like Jrue Holiday, if a player like Derrick White has a night where they need an extra rest, or they're maintaining a little bit of an injury and they are coming on a back-to-back and they want rest, I expect Payton Pritchard to be implemented into that starting lineup, and then we'll see how great Payton Pritchard can really look with this team. And I'm expecting him to kind of transcend playing alongside players like Derrick White, Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown. He's already done it with Joe Mazzulla, kind of integrating Payton Pritchard and Sam Hauser with these bench lineups in with the starters throughout this season, and it's been key for the Celtics in improving and getting better. As we all know, the Celtics team is dominant, is one of the best ones, but having a player like Payton Pritchard, who is so insanely valuable coming off the bench, is key in success in pushing for another championship, and having players that are willing to take those sacrificial roles, even though they know that they can start and can be in those roles, similar with players like Al Horford and Jrue Holiday. That is what leads a overall team success and gives everyone happiness in the end. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. How do you guys feel about Payton Pritchard? How do you guys feel about this Celtics team? Like I mentioned, we will not be live tonight versus the Nets game. I'm sorry. Wednesday as well. I apologize. I had something busy come up, but we will be getting the lives full into swing starting next week. Like I said, we'll have those going back. Come check us out on Knicks Digest tonight, chopping it up with Chris over on there, talking about the Celtics, talking about the Knicks, talking about regular NBA basketball. So come on, join. Maybe we can talk bad about the Sixers over there. Who knows? We can get that joint. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Like I said, you guys have been absolutely fantastic. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. And go Boston Celtics. Peace out, everyone.